Mali, a country in West Africa, has a deep history with France. Once a colony, Mali got its independence from France in 1960. When Mali was under French control, the French language became very important. Schools, offices, and government workers used French as a widely spoken language. It was a ubiquitous presence. Then, a significant change happened. Mali said French was no longer the primary language for them. They wanted to use their languages instead. A long time ago, France took over Mali. This was part of a bigger plan by countries in Europe to control parts of Africa. They wanted to get resources and power. From the late 1800s to 1960, Mali was under French rule. In those times, people in Mali had to learn French, and French was the boss of all languages there. Mali made a big choice. They said, "We won't use French as our main language anymore." They decided this because they wanted to honor their own culture and languages. There are many languages spoken in Mali, like Bambara and Fulani. People felt it was time to bring those languages into schools and offices. By doing this, they could connect better with each other and their history. Mali had a tough time under France's control. The French came to Mali in the late 19th century. They did this because they wanted to be stronger and have more things, like gold and land. France made Mali part of its big empire in Africa. The rulers were French, and they made the rules. The people had to do what the French said, and they had to pay taxes to them. France helped itself to Mali's goods and told the Malians how to live. When France took over, they brought their language with them. French became the big boss in Mali. They said, "You have to speak French here." They put French in schools and offices. Mali's languages, like Bambara and Fulani, didn't get the same respect. This made things hard for the people. Their way of talking and doing things got pushed aside. French was the winner, and Mali's languages were losing. After Mali got free from France in 1960, things started to change. Mali was its boss now. The leaders thought hard about what to do with their languages. They still used French because that's what they did for a long time. But they began to think, our languages are important too. Over the years, they made plans to bring back Mali's languages. They said these languages should be in schools and everywhere. They wanted to ensure that Mali's voice was heard strong and clear. You're welcome to yet another exciting video content. Today's episode delves into the real reasons why Mali dropped French as its official language. Before proceeding, please spare some time to click the like and subscribe button on the video. When you subscribe to the channel, we will notify you whenever we post captivating video content like this one. To our returning subscribers, we would like to say, welcome back. Now, straight to the video. Language helps an economy grow. When people do business, they need to speak the same language. It makes things go smoothly. For a long time, Mali used French to do business. But only some people spoke French well. This was tough for some people. They could not join the business in the same way. By using their languages, more Mali people can participate in business. This can help the economy. When more people work, they can make more goods and services. This makes the country richer. Using a local language as the primary language can be good. If people talk in a language they know well, they can share ideas better. They can start their own business. They can also learn things more efficiently in school. Knowing the language well lets them use their skills better. If people feel strong in their language, they will feel strong at work too. This can help create more jobs and make a more robust economy. When Mali uses its language in trade, it can change how it works with other countries. Each country has its language. They have to find a common language to talk business. This can be a challenge, yet it can also lead to respect. If Mali is strong in its language, other countries must respect that. Mali can still talk business with other countries. They can use translators or choose a language that both understand. This can ensure Mali keeps good relations with other countries while still using its language at home. When Malians talk and work in their language, they can think and create new things better. It's easier for them to start new businesses. They can think of new ideas that no one else has. This makes their work unique. They might create new products or services if they can share their ideas quickly. This can make Mali's markets exciting and different. When people understand each other well, they work better together. They can solve problems and make new things faster. This can bring more money to Mali and make it a better place for new businesses. Having many languages in Mali can help the economy grow. It can bring people together. More people join in the money-making game when everyone can use their own language. They can sell things, make things, and offer services. This means the money in Mali moves around more. It goes to more people and places. When many languages are used, it shows the world how rich Mali's culture is. People from other places might get interested in Mali. They might want to buy things from there or visit Mali. This can bring in more money and jobs. More jobs mean more people can live a good life. This is how using the local languages can make Mali stronger and richer. Mali's languages carry the heartbeats of their past, the ways of old folks, the laughs of children, and the dreams of the youth. When people use their language, they skip like a stone on the river of their rich history. They tap into a deep well of who they are. They sing to the tunes their grandparents sang and tell tales that dance from one generation to the next. This keeps their roots strong and their culture alive. Mali decided to wave their local languages like a flag to take back their true colors. By saying, "This is our language," they hug their authentic self. Mali's leaders want everyone to talk, read, and write in the languages that are indeed theirs. Schools teach in these languages. Kids grow up proud, knowing the words and ways of their people. Malians can use their own languages to paint the world with their own stories and dreams. Each word they speak is a brushstroke on the canvas of who they are, showing the world the bright hues of Mali's culture. This move says, "We are Mali, and our language is the beat of our country's heart." By speaking in Bambara, Fulani, or any other language of Mali, they build a house where Mali's soul feels at home. The nation's identity shines like the sun rising over their land. It grows stronger and spreads wider, reaching out to touch the future with hands rooted in the past they love and honor. Mali's decision to drop French as its official language changed how people learn. Schools started using local languages like Bambara, Fulani, and others. This change made school better for kids. They began learning the language they spoke at home. This made it easier for them to understand their lessons. When kids learn in their language, they learn fast and well. Textbooks and teachers now speak the same language as the students. Kids feel happy and smart because they get what's being taught. They join in more in class and ask questions without fear. They also learn to read and write in their language. This way, they carry their culture from their family to school and back home. In school, learning in a local language helps shape what kids study. The lessons talk about Mali's land, people, and stories. Kids learn about their history and culture. The things they study are close to their hearts. This gives them pride and a strong sense of who they are. Using local languages doesn't just change schools, it also changes art, music, and stories. Mali's poets, singers, and writers can now create in the language they dream of. They can share their work with more people in Mali, because now, more people understand it. Art shows, music, and books in local languages let Malians show their art to the world. People in Mali can enjoy art and stories that sound and feel like home. Local languages help artists express their true selves. They can sing songs that bring out the colors of their traditions. Cultural exchange grows when artists use their language. People from other places hear and see Mali's culture in a new, rich way. When visitors come, they can learn about Mali from the songs and stories told by Malians themselves. This makes Mali's culture strong and alive. Using local languages in school and art helps Malians know and love their culture. They celebrate who they are with every word they speak and every story they tell. Trading French for local languages is about more than just talking. It's about keeping Mali's spirit bright for all to see and hear. Politics played a big role when Mali said goodbye to French as its official language. Let's dive into how Mali's leaders and people fighting for their nation helped make this happen. Leaders in Mali see language as a way to make their country more solid. They believe that speaking their own languages can bond the people. Language is like the glue that holds the country together. They use their words to show who they are and what they stand for. Political talk uses the words and ideas that matter to their people. 1. Role of language in political discourse and identity politics. In politics, what you say and how you say it can change hearts and minds. Mali's leaders use their own words so everyone feels included. They want all the people to think of themselves as one big family. When leaders talk like the people, it's easier for folks to connect with what's happening. It's all about making sure folks feel part of things. When they do, the country's ties grow stronger. Saying yes to many languages is also a way to stand up for the country's way of life. By promoting all the languages spoken in Mali, leaders show that they must go along with what other countries think is best. They value what's theirs. They see their many languages as treasures, not something to hide. Supporting their own words is like saying they won't let other countries shape how they live. It's all about being proud and strong in their unique way. Things changed a lot when Mali decided to use local languages in government. People working in offices now talk and write in the languages that most Malians use daily. This meant they had to make new forms and signs in Bambara, Fulani, and others. Now, when people go to get things like their driver's license or birth certificate, they see the words in their language. This makes it easy for them to know what to do. Government leaders also started to chat with people in the local tongue. Even big bosses in offices work with the regional languages. They make sure that they can talk to everyone. When laws and messages from the government are in local languages, people understand better. They know what the rules are and what the government is doing. This makes things clear and helps people trust the government more. Learning in local languages helps people get jobs too. Before, if you had learned French, it would have been hard to get a good job. But now, knowing your local language is a plus. Offices and jobs need people who can speak in the local language. This gives everyone a chance to get a job fair. Using local languages brings people in Mali closer together. When everyone talks in the same language, they feel like they belong. They share stories, jokes, and ideas quickly. People from different parts of Mali can understand each other better. They see what they have in common. This feeling of togetherness makes the country strong. Your language and ways are essential no matter where you're from in Mali. Everyone's voice matters. This makes people happy, and they help each other out more. When different groups in Mali speak the same language, there is less fighting. If people feel left out because they can't understand the language, they might get upset. But now, when the government uses everyone's vocabulary, everyone feels like they matter. People work together for a better Mali. By throwing out French and saying yes to local languages, Mali is more united. When a team wears the same uniform, they play better together. Mali is telling everyone that they're one team, one family. This sharing makes Mali peaceful, and all the people feel they have a place in their country's future. When Mali said no to French as its official language, other countries had to consider this significant change. People in France, the country that once ruled Mali, were surprised. They wondered why Mali stopped using the language they shared. Many French speakers felt like they lost a close friend. They had ties with Mali through language, but now things were different. Other countries watched Mali's move. Some said it was good for Mali to use its languages. They saw it as Mali being true to itself. They clapped for Mali's bold step towards independence in how it talks and thinks. But there were other voices too. Some countries that use French as a big language got worried. They wondered if their ties with Mali would get weak. They thought about how they would talk with Mali now. Everyone had to adjust to Mali's new language plan. Mali's choice to use its local languages changed how it talks to other countries. Mali now had to make sure these countries understood their new ways. They had to explain that their soul was in these local words, which mattered most. Mali stayed firm in meetings, talks, and deals with other countries. They wanted respect for their new choice. Often, they still used French or English when they had to. This helped keep the bridge with other countries strong. They still wanted to be friends and work together. Many countries were ready to keep the friendship. They found ways to understand and accept Mali's choice. They saw that people everywhere loved their ways. This respect made the ties between Mali and their friends stay alive. Some aid or help from other countries had to change. They had to ensure their projects and plans fit Mali's language. But the big goal was the same. They still wanted to help Mali do well. This showed the world a lesson. Language is deep in a country's heart, but respect and understanding keep them close. Even if countries speak different words, they can still work hand in hand. Mali's step to use its language made its voice true and invited others to listen in new ways. Mali's decision to drop French made room for new kinds of teaming up with French-speaking countries. These countries now see Mali as strong for keeping its languages alive. They can work with Mali on projects that respect local tongues. Together, they can share ways to keep their cultures and languages strong. This change means Mali and French-speaking countries can learn from each other. Mali shows it's possible to honor your language and still be friends. Thanks to Mali's bold move, these countries might try new things in language and culture. They can still chat, trade, and help each other grow. Mali's new path can lead to unique arts and culture projects with these countries. They can start festivals, shows, and other events that show off all their languages. This can bring people closer and illuminate the decadent ways of different lands. Mali's extensive choice allows it to lead big groups around the world like the UN. Mali can talk to these groups about why keeping your language alive is key. By doing this, Mali can help ensure other places keep their special languages too. Mali can join hands with these groups to start programs that help every country use its own words. These programs can make learning in your language easier in schools all over the globe. This can make sure every child learns well in a language they know. By joining these talks, Mali can get new ideas and money to make its language plans work well. This can help me make books and websites and learn all sorts of things in local languages. It can also train teachers to be great at teaching in these languages. International groups might also use Mali's story as an example for other places. They can show how using your language can improve things for everyone in a country. Mali can inspire and lead the way in celebrating all the world's languages. People in Mali who speak French and have power might not like the change. They are used to talking and working in French. This includes teachers, politicians, and business folks. They might try to stop or slow down the new language rules. Schools and offices might need help to shift from French to local languages. These groups could push back because they worry about how the change will affect them. For example, A French-speaking school director might say no to changing textbooks to local languages. He may think adapting will take much work for students and teachers. Or, a politician who has always given speeches in French might want to speak something other than a local language. He fears people might not take him seriously. Mali might need more money, books, or teachers for local languages. This can make teaching kids and adults in these new official languages hard. Schools may need new books and materials that are in regional languages. For instance, if a school wants to teach in Bambara, they need books in Bambara. But if there aren't enough books, it's tough for kids to learn. Or, if a village wants to keep using the Songhai language, they need teachers who can teach in Songhai. If there are not enough teachers, students might not learn well. Also, the government needs money to train people and create these new resources. With enough money, the new language policy can avoid delays. Ensuring everyone in Mali accepts and uses the local languages quickly and satisfactorily becomes more work. In summary, while there can be resistance from French speakers and a need for more resources, Mali also has a chance to grow. By encouraging local languages, Mali can bring its people closer together and protect its culture. It can also teach the world about the beauty of language diversity. Thanks for sticking with this video till the very end. If you enjoyed this video and wish to see more of such videos, please subscribe to this channel. Also, remember to like and share this video next time. Thanks for watching.